video real quick. An update. I'm going to explain it. They called me with the MRI update and was going to schedule it, and it was like after 5. Or no, 3 o'clock. Because they found the hospital here in Pulaski County in Somerset. I'm looking both sides because people walking by and stuff. Because I'm going to end it when my wife and my son come out, because then it means I got to drive again. But anyway, when you go under the MRI, the machine shuts your pump off, and with it already messed up. And the only things being done about it is my doctor put me on, like I said, oral pain medication, cut my pump down, and it's still the same way. All my boluses are not taking effect, and the medicine is not strong enough to cover the pain 100%. But anyway, I told him, I said, well, or my wife brought it up, said my doctor would be closed, my pain doctor that's in another county, said, it would be closed and it's got to be checked. And I'm like, can you all are you all able to check it after I get out of the MRI? He said, well, we'll have them call you back. And then they called back and they said, we can check it, but the problem is if it gets worse, and this is the neurosurgeons, if it gets worse and it don't work, they can't fix it because they're not my treating physicians, for one. So they had to call and reschedule it for a morning appointment, so that after I'm done, I can drive all the way to the next county, Bull County, and they can read my pump there, which is like depending on traffic, an hour getting there. So, yeah, I mean, if it's already messing up, there's no telling what this MRI will do to it. But it's April the 9th when I go, and then after that MRI, which I'll be going to my pain doctor before then, because I'm on the oral medications for withdrawals or whatever, because when the pump ain't working, apparently that's what I'm going through. The pain burning in my chest, pain in my back comes back mild to full throttle. And that one video I did, I didn't want to feel like making it, but I'm like, I wanted y'all to see, hey, this is what's going on, This guy's pulling out beside of me. But anyway, and then, like I've said in chats on Killamillas, and if anybody's been paying attention and stuff, where we've been hit hard with the past 2 landlords and stuff, and having to borrow money from cash places and stuff before, and even before that, before we asked for help, we thought we was going to be able to have a decent, like interaction with the landlord, but it costs more to go after them for the deposit. Especially the one landlord where we had offered to have, try to get somebody. There's like one door messed up, and then one hole from the bed by accident, where the bed was being adjusted, and didn't realize the corner of that bed poked a hole in it, and then wrote a text message. This is when we lived on Westwood in Casey County, which is next to the radio station 98.7, The Buck. And she's like, no, don't worry about it. Just get off the property. And you got to go to small claims and all this other stuff. And with my situation, no way sitting there. It's like I had jury duty, whatever. I had to get my primary care doctor to write a note for that. I love jury duty. I loved it because I wanted the experience. That's what I say. I always wanted to be a security guard. And when I got injured, then I got a security job opening, and I couldn't take it because of my injury. It's like it get rubs in your face, things that you want. And then I've always wanted to experience jury duty, but can't because of my disability and stuff. But anyway, the apps that we've had to borrow from and everything, trying to keep food on the table. Kids are trying to keep up with clothes for our kids where they're outgrowing them. I mean, you're getting older. Gas to keep them in a program. I mean, they shouldn't have to be punished for not being able to be involved in some school activities. And then on top of that, they get bullied quite a bit, all because of either their clothes or, like, my middle son has apraxia, and sometimes you can't understand what he says. He gets so frustrated at the phone with the talk to text. And we don't get EBT or nothing, and I can't work a side job. YouTube, whenever my pain is manageable, I get on YouTube. I used to like to sing a lot when part of my pain was manageable. But in 2023, that kind of dwindled down after September 2023. It got to where I can only do a little bit because of this burning and these episodes and putting two and two together. My pump has been acting up ever since they switched medications. The more I think about it and how he's describing it, and so I'm hoping this neurosurgeon will be able to have a surgery or something, or have an explanation, because this 26 years of this roller coaster ride with more being in pain and more in the wheelchair than there was being out. When pain management was working, the one thing I learned, the more you move, the worse it gets. And you got people in your ear over all these years like, you need to exercise, you need to do this, or, oh, it's just aches and pain. This is beyond aches and pains. And I don't go around telling people all that kind of garbage and stuff. If they say they're in pain, I'm like, hey, I hope it gets better for you, for real. I've been tolerating my neck injury. My back injury is the worst, and that's what I've had to focus on. Your co-pays. On top of that, with the kids, co-pays, because he won't see you unless you pay your co-pay. And that's ridiculous. So apparently, I'm like, my pump fails, and I don't have my $25, you're just going to watch me die, apparently. And that shouldn't be like that. I know the neurosurgeons, they just bill you, and I'm like, thank you, Lord. I'm so glad that they can do that. But yeah, we're trying to stay above water and trying to just do what we can, and a lot of people that have something to say about it, they get to, if they have kids, they get to enjoy time with their kids. They get to enjoy time going camping. They get to enjoy time doing things and all that. Spending time every day, going on vacations. They get to spend time going and doing, recording people and all that other stuff. they get to use time to do silly things or whatever. I would love to be able to be involved more. But this disability and this injury and then now this pump issue is ridiculous. And I'm having to put my family first. And I'm still waiting to hear back to see if, being that I had to get my primary care to try it because my pain doctor says it's too hard. You know, hoping that I'll be able to get a wheelchair through my primary care with them sending it in. So I'll keep you all updated on that one. But yeah, gas, food, trying to keep up with clothes, and then they go to church. They volunteer at church, and we even get a food box once a month because here in Kentucky, in this part of Kentucky, you ain't allowed to get one or two food boxes. You only get one food box, and we're a family of 5. So, trying to give updates and mix it all into one. Y'all take care.